Mr. Pachecho says after 28 years, he thought he knew everything about his fiancée. But now, her shady behavior and surprise body enhancements are telling him otherwise. Today, on Divorce Court.
All rise. The Honorable Judge Starr presiding.
Hello, everyone. You may be seated.
Your Honor, the case of Pachecho v. Lloyd.
Thank you very much. Mr. Pachecho and Ms. Lloyd, welcome to Divorce Court. I'm glad to have you all join us here today. This is a relationship that has been almost 30 years in the making, yet they're facing a crossroads because the plaintiff is not sure that he can trust the defendant any longer. Let's find out why we're in court. Mr. Pachecho, why are we in divorce court?
Well, me and Amber have been together for 28 years, and for the past several months, she hasn't been the woman that I've grown to love. So if she doesn't change, I'm ready to walk.
And after 28 years, that sounds pretty serious because I understand, in addition to you being together for 28 years, you've been engaged for 4 years, and you share 5 children.
Correct.
Let me go over to Miss Lloyd. Miss Lloyd, what's going on?
Nothing's going on. I'm in love. He's in love. We have 5 kids together forever and a day, today. And that's just it. I don't know where he's coming from with all of this, but that's all.
Mr. Pachecho, why don't you take me back to a happier time, 28 years ago when you first met? And what led us to get to this point?
Well, when we first met, it was at the skating ring. It's a local skating ring. I was looking fly that day, so she sent her friend to come get my number, and ever since then, you know, we've been an item. Fast forward, I turned 17 June the 1st, 2000. We had our first kid, July 21st, 2000. So we were really young parents at that time, having our first kid. Right now we have 4 more boys, would equal 5 altogether. And the relationship been great for the most part, but she hasn't been the same.
You know, Mr. Pachecho says he has a suspicion that there's been some cheating. Am I correct, sir?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So what happened is, normally when she comes home from hanging out with her friends or whatever, when she walks into the house, she'll greet me, give me a hug or kiss. Then one thing leads to the next, and we might have a little sex or something like that. But recently, she hasn't been doing that. When she comes into the house, the first thing she do is go jump in the shower. So I went in there, into the shower, and asked her, like, what's going on? So she's basically being nonchalant about the situation, saying that I'm overthinking it and stuff of that matter. And I'm like, this isn't making no sense. I'm not overthinking anything, but I don't have no concrete evidence, so I can't really just get on her how I really want to get on her about it. So another situation happened where she's in the shower and the phone is ringing. I go and pick up the phone and I say, hello. It happens to be a man's voice. When I say hello, I say, who's this? He say, is Amber there? I say, who's this? He hurried up and hangs up the phone. So I'm like, something ain't right about this. So now I walk into the bathroom as she's in the shower, and I pull up and I say, who's this? Somebody just called. I tell her the story and what happened, and she's basically telling me she don't know who it is. It could be any random person. She doesn't know what I'm talking about. Some told me to check the text messages that's connected with this number.
That's brilliant, because that's exactly what I would have done. Not gonna lie.
And what I see, I submitted it to you guys, so you'll be able to see the text message, but what I see is they're basically sexing, which is sex text messages going back and forth to each other.
Let me see what you're talking about.
So extra.
Did you make it home yet?
Extra.
That's the gentleman. No, not yet. Not that far, though. I miss you already with a kissy face. Oh, look at you with kissy faces and kissy faces. I hit you later. I'm about to go in the house now. I love when you get on top. Boy, stop. LOL, making me blush. But for real, I know you impressed that I knew what that meant.
I am. I am, too. I ain't gonna lie.
Okay?
So, Judge, as you can see, she's not telling the truth.
When I can. I don't know what happened. I don't know who that is. But I know if that was being sent and back and forth with my husband, we'd be having a problem, and he'd be right to have a problem. I know that. So, Miss Lloyd, you have an opportunity to explain, because that right there, that'd make me suspicious also.
Okay, so, we just gonna break it down. I ain't gonna sugarcoat nothing, we're gonna break it down. I also, besides my nails, work at a mortuary. I deal with a lot of families. This particular client is one that I was dealing with from the mortuary. I took care of everything that needed to be taken care of, made him more confident in things that was going on with his case, at the mortuary, and everything that was getting
And
done.
you did this while you were on top of him?
You good. No, all of this is at the mortuary, at the office. So let me get to how he has the personal number. So I'm very attentive with my clients, with my nail people, everybody.
No. You don't get to read your husband until you
Sorry.
answer why a
Okay.
man is talking about he likes it when
you're
you're
right.
on top.
You're absolutely right. So for that, yes, I wasn't gonna be at work. I gave him my personal number. I met up with him outside of the office, going over the things that he wanted to talk about within the case. Yes, within greeting him, and this is a very older man, within greeting him, he did not stand up like a gentleman normally should, but I still leaned over to give him a hug, a greeting hug. Basically, I'm sitting on his lap. I didn't want him to feel any type of way.
I didn't care what type of way he felt. This is not my husband. You're sitting on his lap. What in the world? How do you even form your mouth to try to give an explanation in court that you ended up on an older man's lap
I'm about to tell you
because
how
you
my
didn't
corner
want
be.
him to feel some type of way?
Because it's the truth, and that's what it was. There's nothing behind it. There was nothing sexual. There was nothing.
That is sexual in and of itself.
Not to me.
We've been together 28 years. You just gonna just sit on another man's lap.
I did.
And you think that's acceptable? All right.
Okay, it's not acceptable.
That's
Hearing
what
it
I
out
wanted
loud,
to hear. That's all I wanted
It's not
to hear.
acceptable.
Mr. Pacheco, is it okay for you to have a woman sitting on your lap?
Oh no, I don't know what'd happen to me if I had a woman sitting on my lap.
You
I'd be afraid for my life.
She'd probably be in another kind of courtroom.
For real.
And as it relates to you, it'd be some slow singing and some flower bringing, if you know what I mean.
Probably ICU. or something like
Exactly.
that.
I'm not gonna lie. It was like a nice little, a feeling that I know he hasn't been giving me lately either. That is all part of the emotion.
It's called
and everything.
deflection, what you just
You know
did.
what I mean?
Really, if I was somebody who got caught like that, I'd say,
no
baby,
caught.
I'm sorry.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this one thing like this.
Yes, ma'am?
This right here, he went to the phone and screenshot and sent y'all over some stuff. He didn't come try to talk to me about this. Maybe if we would have had a conversation at home about it, maybe we would not have been here. But he didn't come trying to talk to me about it. You went through my phone, took it, and sent it on over to these people.
That's called deflection, that you are now trying to blame Mr. Pacheco
I don't think
for...
it's a blame at all. I don't think it's a
When
blame.
all I need to hear right now, ma'am, is... I'm sorry, but I guess you're
did
not.
take-
So can I go
right
to the
here.
next story?
I am sorry.
Yes.
Because it doesn't seem like you would
I don't
have
want you
any...
to do that because I am sorry, and I don't want him feeling like that. And we've had too many years. We got kids. We got this, and no, okay.
Mr. Pacheco,
failed.
is it okay for you to
took
have
a step back.
a woman sitting on your lap?
Oh no, I don't know what'd happen to me if I had a woman sitting on my lap.
You
I'd be afraid for my life.
She'd probably be in another kind of courtroom.
For real.
And as it relates to you, it'd be some slow singing and some flower bringing, if you know what I mean.
Probably ICU. or something
Exactly.
Like that. For real, Judge.
So what's been going on with you all? Because it seems like Miss Lloyd is saying that the intimacy and the romance seems to be out of the relationship.
Well, it ain't because of me, it's because of her. Normally, I get sex maybe anywhere from 12 to 13 times a month. Now it's diminished to once every 2 weeks, so that's about twice a month.
What's happening?
When I get into bed and I'm laying with her, you know, you lay down, you might watch a little TV or something like that, and I get the rubbing or something like that, is no response. Is don't touch me, oh, I'm tired, I got work in the morning. It's all these excuses. We've been together 28 years. I have never heard these excuses for 28 years.
What's going on, Miss Lloyd? Let's live in the truth. What's going on?
The truth is, yes, our sex life, yeah, we got 5 boys. Yeah, we got it in, we get it in. Just lately, job, the kids' lives, taking on something else, like I said, the mortuary, the nails. We have kids that's in entertainment. Then now with the baby. And it's just a whole different dynamic. So yes, I'm tired. It's always something. I'm mom, I'm fiancé.
Sounds like an excuse, Judge.
No, it's not an excuse. It's our life. My relationship ain't gone nowhere, ain't going nowhere, because I ain't going nowhere, he ain't going nowhere.
Well, I'm not sure about that, Mr. Pacheco.
Yes,
I'm telling you.
I'm not sure about that.
I'm having too many issues with her, Judge. One morning, she's leaving out to go take the kids to school. On this particular day, she takes the kids. When I come home from work later on that evening, she walks in, and she has full-blown implants. Breast implants. And you want to hear something crazy?
What you talking about, Willis?
This happened just a week ago. Tuesday made a week ago. We don't have money like that at this particular time.
Well, she had some money. How much did breast cost? Because that costs money.
It was $5,500.
Maybe you can squeeze out of her, where did this money come from, Judge? Because I ain't got a clue.
That's a valid question. What happened? How'd you find $5,500?
I was given a financial gift, yes.
See, that's some, yeah, see, yeah. Well, she told me that she put it on the credit card. But when I went and checked the credit card statement, it wasn't no plastic surgery, wasn't no breasts, it wasn't no, I don't know, augmentation, well, I don't know what you call it, but it wasn't that on there. So maybe you can squeeze out of her, where did this money come from, Judge? Because I ain't got a clue.
That's a valid question. What happened? How'd you find $5,500?
I was given a financial gift, yes.
See, that's some, yeah, yeah.
How much of the $5,500 was the gift?
$4,000.
So who was it? Who gave you the money? No, tell me, who gave you the money?
That's a valid question.
It was one of the clients.
See, that's some bull. See?
Let me just ask a follow-up. Did it happen to be the client that you were exchanging text messages with?
Yes.
See, that's why I can't trust her, Judge. That's exactly why I can't trust her. See, the whole time I've been feeling this way, it's been for a reason. Everybody want to act like, oh, he just tripping. No, I ain't tripping.
I don't know a partner, male or female, that would accept their partner taking $4,000 from somebody else.
You're right.
For a plastic surgery procedure. So, here's my question. Mm-hmm. What did you do for the $4,000?
I did nothing but be attentive. There was nothing sexual. There was none of that. I mean, yeah, y'all want to look at the text messaging.
Attentive, that means you was paying attention to something. What was you paying attention to?
Can I talk, please? I didn't cut you off, sir.
Sorry about that, but
Thank you.
Yeah.
Miss Lloyd?
Yes, ma'am.
You do at least understand why your fiancé does not trust you, is suspicious, and has every right to ask you to take a polygraph examination because all this behavior is shady as a mug.
Yes. Yes.
But you still say he has no real reason to think that you've been unfaithful, correct?
Correct.
Mr. Pacheco asked us to administer a polygraph examination, and you said you willingly would take one.
I did. Yes.
So let's ask our expert witness to join us, because I think it's time for some answers.
Yes, definitely.
Let's ask him. Thank you.
I'm locked in.
Sir.
Good day, Your Honor.
Good day, Mr. Yarborough. Will you please state your name and affiliation for the court?
Certainly. My name is John Yarborough. I'm a certified polygraph examiner. I'm a member of the American Polygraph Association, and I've done hundreds of polygraphs for numerous law enforcement and other public safety agencies across the state, as well as professional and private polygraphs.
And you have provided services for this court on numerous occasions. I find you more than qualified to provide services in this case. Mr. Yarborough, I asked you to administer a polygraph examination that Ms. Lloyd was willingly submitting to.
That is correct, Your Honor.
I asked you to put 3 questions to Ms. Lloyd, and the first question was, we asked Ms. Lloyd, did you have sexual contact with someone in exchange for breast augmentation?
That is correct.
What was Ms. Lloyd's answer?
Ms. Lloyd answered no.
And what did the test results indicate?
Polygraph examination results indicated there was no deception indicated to that question.
So she told the truth?
She was telling the truth.
That makes me feel a little bit better, but let's finish this poly test.
That was big.
Let's finish this poly test. It ain't over yet.
Mr. Yarborough, we asked Ms. Lloyd regarding the sexual text messages you received from the gentleman you said was a client. Did you have sexual contact with him?
That is correct. But I had to modify that question slightly.
Why did you modify the question?
During the exam pre-test interview, Ms. Lloyd did discuss with me the situation where she did end up sitting in his lap. And at that time, it was determined that could be considered sexual contact. So we modified the question to read, other than what you told me today, have you had any sexual contact with the person that you say is your client?
And what was Ms. Lloyd's answer to that question?
Her answer to that question was no.
And what did the test result indicate?
The polygraph examination results indicated that there was no deception indicated to that question.
So what you was saying all loud and stuff.
You still shouldn't be taking no $4,000 from no dude after we've been together 28 years.
And I said that to you.
You're
You're right, but what you were worried about,
There's
there was
a
no sex or
third
nothing.
question.
Yeah, uh-huh.
It is.
It ain't over yet.
Mr. Yarborough, we asked Ms. Lloyd, have you had sexual contact with anyone other than Mr. Pachecho since you've been together?
That is correct, Your Honor.
What was Ms. Lloyd's answer?
Ms. Lloyd answered no.
What did the test results indicate?
The polygraph examination results indicated there was no deception to that question either.
So, again, that was that third one. How do we feel?
Maybe you do love me.
Maybe?
Maybe.
After all these years?
still sitting
it was
on
just
people's
a flaw
lap.
in the
What are you
relationship.
sitting
We've
on
been
the
together
dude's lap
forever.
for?
Listen, we didn't get this far off of just peachy keen and 100% of everything being good. We had issues. We have issues. It was something. I reacted. I'm sorry.
Mr. Yarborough does not need to be a part of this part. He has performed his services.
He did. He did.
Thank you, Mr. Yarborough. We certainly do appreciate it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Better known as Mr. Yarborough don't need to be in your drama.
Okay, that was it.
And not for nothing, but neither do the rest of us. Mr. Pachecho, I think you owe Miss Lloyd an apology for thinking that she's been unfaithful.
I apologize for that.
Miss Lloyd, I think you need to make amends for putting yourself in the trick bag that would make him think you've been unfaithful.
I totally agree.
Okay?
Those
were two unnecessary incidents. You don't sit on another man's lap.
I know, I was wrong.
You don't exchange sexy messages with them.
Wrong.
And you don't accept $4,000 from a man who clearly has interest in you.
You're absolutely right.
He was looking for more than $4,000 up out of you.
And so you are a faithful woman, but some would say acting like a tricky you-know-what.
Yes.
And so what's going to happen is Mr. Pachecho is going to look at you a little different, which means you're going to have to work really hard to rebuild this man's trust.
Granny.
And that's going to require less doublespeak and more acknowledgement and accountability on your part. I rarely get a couple that comes in here with 3 decades behind them, 5 children between them. Nobody has an allegation of outside babies, and I know there are ups and downs in every relationship, but we have to be respectful of each other. And you haven't been particularly respectful in this.
Tell me something.
Thank you.
I still love you. Yeah. You know I love you.
Hey, I had to apologize to you because, you know, hey, it proved that you wasn't cheating on me, but that's not straight that you was sitting on the dude lap.
You're right. I told Rick.
That's totally unacceptable. So you got to make it right. And all this
Don't worry, I'm gonna make it right.
No, twice.
Because I love you, and you know that.
No, sex
Forget
twice
all
a
that
month
other
ain't gonna
stuff.
work. That ain't gonna.
All right, we can go back to get it in like we used to. Get it 12 times, 15. How about I make it 20?
I love you.
Can we make it 20?
Yeah.
Okay.
Made in Georgia.